Mike, we're here to talk about your next chapter in your book. How can we come up with an idea for loving people? Mike, how do we do that?
Well, I think the best way to come up with an idea for how you can love people is to look at other people's ideas and be inspired by them. For example, one of the stories that I was inspired with a couple of years ago was to hear of someone whose family were all into board games, and so they met with other families who didn't go to church around board games. And then one day he said to them, I'm going to start Lego Church. And if you come at this different time of the week, I'm going to tell a Bible story, and then we'll all make that story in Lego and share together the different Lego models that we've done. And so that's what they did.
Brilliant.
And it was brilliant. It was great. And that made me think, you could do that with Minecraft, couldn't you? And so I began to dream up ideas for Minecraft Church, except that a few weeks later, I bumped into a friend and I found that he was already doing Minecraft Church with teenagers. So something that I thought was brilliantly original to me was actually old hat as far as he was concerned. But, use other people's ideas to spark your imagination.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering if there are any particular ideas that work best.
Well, the best ideas are the ones that you love and that are sort of passions to you. We found that many of these new Christian communities that are beginning to emerge, they emerge around people's interests, around their passions, around their hobbies. So, for example, if you've got a dog, do what other people have done, and that is when you go dog walking, get to know other people who've got dogs. And then someone who works as a vet was telling me that in the vet practice that she has, once a month, they host dog parties. And people come with their dogs. They have to make sure all these dogs get on with each other, otherwise it could be a bit of a nightmare. But they come with their dogs and they give the dogs a party. The dogs have a wonderful time smelling each other's butts and all the rest. And the adults just chat together and socialize. Now, I thought, why, if I was a dog walker, unfortunately I'm not, but if I was a dog walker and I got to know other dog walkers, why wouldn't we host a dog party as long as our dogs all get on well with each other? So do something around your passion. One cup.
You and I have had a conversation, and I heard you mentioning the phrase third space. Could you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, people talk about third spaces. First space is home. Second space is work. And you could start a new Christian community in your workspace, not in all cases, but sometimes. And then the third space is sort of leisure space or recreational space. Mm-hmm. And what we're finding is that so many of these new Christian communities are emerging in that space. So, for example, one couple described how he would go cycling with his friends. She wasn't into cycling at all. So she met up with other people who were sort of partners or friends of the cyclists. And together they organized the food so that when the cyclists came back, they could all eat together and socialize together. Mm. That made me think, gosh, you could do that if you were, if you loved coaching sport. If you're coaching a group of teenagers, you could coach the teenagers. You might team up with a friend or two who then organize the food. So at the end of the coaching session or at the end of the match, you can all eat together and enjoy each other's company. And that begins to then become a community.
Mm-hmm. What's your view, Mike? Is there any value in doing any of this online?
Yeah, I'm coming across more and more of these examples. This is an American one. I'm sure they're British equivalents. But Kevin was into films, so he set up a website and a chat facility, and people would come to the website. It was a website for film connoisseurs, so they'd watch some films, they'd talk about the films they'd watched, and they'd post comments in the chat feed. After a little time, Kevin said to them, hey, why don't we all hang out in this Zoom, and why don't we talk together in a Zoom room about some of the sort of hidden spirituality and the hidden ethics in these films. So then they started talking together by Zoom. And then after a while again, he began to offer a prayer at the beginning. And he then invited other people to offer a prayer at the beginning. And then later on, all this takes time. So you've got to be in this on for the long haul. But later on, he then began to put in a little spiritual devotion, which people liked. And gradually that became more central. And he started saying to a friend, these folks are talking as if this is their church. I think we've invented a church here. Not perhaps what he intended, but what's actually happened. So yeah, this could all happen online. No reason why you shouldn't do that.
I guess they are being natural. People are being natural, and it's flowing out of their normal everyday activities. And I guess there's a sincerity about it and an integrity about it, which is essential when you go about forming these new Christian communities.
You do it around your passion. And what you're saying is, what's the thing I love doing? How can I get together with one or two friends and share this with other people? And so it's a wonderful thing, because so often in the church we're being asked to do things that are not our passions. Oh, will you help on the coffee rotor? And you think, oh, it's the last thing I want to do, but I've got to do it, and it's all out of duty. And duty's great, but this is different, because wow, I've got a passion for films. Why don't I want to watch films. So why don't I invite other parents in the local school to join me in watching films? We'll watch a video together one Friday evening. The next week we'll meet together, have a meal together, and discuss the video and the spiritual and ethical content of it. It's what you enjoy doing anyway. So why not expand your social circle and just do the things you're really passionate about, but do them with other people? Isn't that fun? Marvelous.
A bit of a yes/no question. Hybrid. What do you think about a hybrid way of working with this?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that this friend I sort of came across who is doing Minecraft Church. What he does is he's gathering teenagers together. They come into the community hall. They sit on beanbags. They bring their iPads, their laptops, or whatever. They all play Minecraft together. And then they eat together and they chat together while they're doing this. And what he does is, there may be a theme that emerges, a kind of a spiritual theme, something they're talking about their girlfriends or something, and they're talking about forgiveness and how hard it is. And then he might say, well, why don't we model forgiveness in Minecraft? And so they'll go and model it. And he said to me, Mike, it's so easy to organize worship in Minecraft, because all you do is to say to the teachers, to the teenagers, these young people, just say to them, look, this is what confession is about. How would we do this in Minecraft? And they might sort of create a model, and a sequence where God blows up people's sins or something, and they just come up with the ideas. So yeah, why not do it hybrid?
It's realizing what God is saying and putting it in 21st century world, and it has meaning. It has real meaning for people.
Absolutely. I mean, all Jesus's parables were taken from everyday realities.
Yes.
And he went around the villages in everyday life, and we're saying, well, why don't we just do the same?
Yeah. So to just summarize what you've said, some of the main points are that use other people's ideas, be inspired by them, use ideas that you have a passion for, use your own passions and interests, use that third space, the recreational space, and don't be scared to use that hybrid model, go online, use that facility that we've got. It's been brilliant to talk to you. And for more ideas, please read GodSend, which Mike Moynagh has written.
And Nudrat, that was such a brilliant summary. I wish you'd written the book. You'd have done it much better.
Well, I'm sort of getting an applause because it is raining cats and dogs here, and I can hear it on the rooftop here. So it's been lovely to see you again. Thank you.